Hey DIYers, I'm George from Alarm Grid. Today we're going to be reviewing the internal siren on the Siren XTi and the Siren XTi-5. So today we're actually working with the Siren XTi. Keep in mind though, the Siren XTi-5 and this panel right here, the Siren XTi, they're exactly the same panel. It's just the XTi-5 has a slightly bigger screen. So anything I say about this panel is also can be used for the XTi-5. So first thing first, this siren has a internal siren built in. So this is, again, remember, this is an all-in-one system. So for those of you who are getting this system, you technically don't need an external siren, but you can certainly add one if wanted. But keep in mind, this actually has an 85 decibel sounder built in. It's about the same loudness as your car horn or your car alarm. So it has an 85 decibel sounder built in. It's meant to alarm whenever the system goes off, whenever you're arming the system, any trouble conditions, any actual alarms that are going off, panic alarms, anything like that, the siren will sound. You actually can control all these options by going into the programming menu and looking at the siren options. To do that, all you need to do, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through that now. The first thing, hit the gear icon on the bottom right, and that's going to take you status and settings. And now just hit the down arrow key all the way down to the last screen. You're going to see programming, and you're going to want to use your dealer code or installer code. Mine is actually set to 4321, which is defaulted. So yours may be different depending if your monitoring company has changed it. Once we're in the system programming, we're going to go ahead and hit Siren Options, which is in the bottom left corner. And here you see all your siren options. You hit the down arrow key, gives you two more available. So I'm just going to touch base on all of these, and then I'm going to show you guys an example of every single one and how it controls it, right? So Panel Piezo beeps, that's referring to any system activity. So whenever you open up a door, it'll chirp twice. Whenever you arm, it'll chirp twice. Whenever you disarm, it'll chirp twice. Any panel activity that you do, if you have Panel Piezo beeps enabled, the siren will chirp twice. Panel voice, this is referring to the arming level changes. So whether you're going from a disarm to an arm away, arm stay, or from an arm away and arm stay to a disarm, it will enunciate it as well. Panel Piezo Alarm, that is the actual siren, the actual alarm siren that goes off whenever our front door is tripped, any motion is tripped, any alarm the sensor gets triggered by, that is the actual Panel Piezo Alarm. If you have that enabled, it'll go off. If you disable it, it won't go off. The trouble beeps, this is referring to any AC failure, any low battery on the panel, any communication failure, any sensor supervision troubles, any sensor low batteries, anything that could trouble the system. Trouble beeps is enabled. I'm going to want that enabled as well. Now the voice chime, this is going to be regarding your sensors. You have the option of doing a voice chime, a chime bell, a soft chime, or off. So if you guys don't want to know what sensors are being triggered, or if you guys just don't care about the panel beeping or chiming or enunciating anything whenever your doors or windows are opened or motions triggered, you can go ahead and leave it off. I like to leave mine on, and I'm going to hit save. I like to leave mine on just because I like to know what's going on around my house. So if I'm around the system, somebody opens up the back door, I would like to know, and my system will let me know, back door open. Now I'm alerted and I know something, someone's opening the back door. Actually, the siren supervision, I don't have any extra sirens, so I'm just going to disable that as well. That's if you guys have any extra sirens wired to the actual Siren XTi or the XTi-5. Again, this is also required that you have an end-of-line resistor at the siren, so if anybody cuts the line, if anybody cuts the line to your siren or even tampers with it in any way whatsoever, if you have that enabled, it will go ahead and let you guys know that someone's tampering with that siren. Hit the down arrow key. It takes you to the last two options. Silent police panic. I do have it check mark. If you uncheck mark it, if you hit the police emergency panic button, it'll actually sound off a loud alarm. If you hit alarm report verify, that's actually referring to whenever the signal is actually sent to the central station. So if you are being monitored, this one actually is not hooked up to a central station, so it won't be enunciating or announcing that the alarm has been sent to a central station. But if you are being monitored, that may be something that you may want to have. That way you know if the central station is going to be calling you or not. So one little thing that I do want to keep in mind, I want you guys to keep in mind, if you guys turn off the panel piezo alarm, if you guys activate that panic and it's set to audible, since you have the alarm turned off, the panic is technically it's an alarm, so it won't actually sound. So you usually want to keep that panel piezo alarm turned on. I don't really see, unless you're someone that wants to have the siren never sound an alarm but still send out signals, so you'd rather keep it like an incognito or like a really silent alarm system, you can go ahead and turn it off. But most homeowners or anything like that are going to want to keep that enabled to kind of let a burglar or someone breaking in know that there's an alarm system in the house that's going off, and that if you're not out of here within a couple of minutes, the police will be showing up soon. So I like to leave mine on. I'm going to go ahead and show you an example. I'm going to back out to the home screen by hitting close all the way out. You're going to see here, I move the magnet away from the contact. It lets me know the door that opened up because I have the voice chime enabled. And then the little beep, those little two beeps that you heard at the end, those are the panel piezo beeps. Those are the system activity that I was telling you about. You also notice if I do an arm away, it's going to enunciate arming away. It's going to let me know what's being armed. And it's also going to keep beeping the whole countdown time. Watch.
Doors and windows on. Motion on.
Now it's going to continue to do that because I have the panel piezo beeps turned on. If I were to turn them off, these beeps would not be happening. Some people like them, some people don't. My preference would be to turn them off. Again, this is also good though, just in case having them turned on, because let's say you're grabbing stuff and you're leaving the house. This actually letting you know that the system is arming. You're going to notice once it gets down to like the last 5 seconds, it's going to start beeping faster. So if you're still in the house, it's letting you know, hey, the system's about to finish arming and you need to get out. So once it's done arming, it's quiet. The system now changes from, press to arm. It says now press to disarm, and it says away right next to the lock. Now if I open this door up, it's going to give me a countdown. That's an entry delay. Entry delay minimum has to be 30 seconds. Exit delay minimum has to be 45 seconds. There are settings you can play around with while you're arming where you can turn off any entry delay. So if you want to make all your doors perimeters, you can do that. You can make any entry exit a perimeter. You can do that. It's going to sound off an alarm. You have to use your master code to disarm it.
Alarm cancelled.
And it beeps.
Module communication cancelled.
Now, all of those beepings, if it's not something you want, you can disable it. I'm going to show you guys as well. I think we have the silent panic enabled. So if I hit police here, it's gonna show me the alarm. If you hit listen, it'll
door alarm. System panic alarm.
It's gonna enunciate. First of all, we never cleared the front door alarm, and we also now have set off a panic. So it's just letting us know everything that's happened on the system. To clear that, we're gonna go ahead and disarm it.
Alarm cancelled.
However, you still
cancelled.
see a little yellow hazard icon in the bottom right. If you hit that, the panel status says right there, if you hit clear, it should take it away. Unless...
Front door alarm. System panic alarm.
Okay.
Siren failure.
Okay. So for that, we're going to go down here. For programming, hit enter. Enter in the dealer installer code. Go to Siren Options. And what I want to go ahead and do now, since I didn't really like the beepings at the end of, every time I open up a door or while you're arming, I'm going to disable the panel piezo beeps. I'm going to pretty much leave everything else enabled. Actually, the siren supervision, I don't have any extra sirens, so I'm just going to disable that as well. And the last option I'm going to change is their report verify. Since mine's not reporting, I can just disable that as well. And the silent police panic. If I disable that, my panic alarm that I set off before, since it was silent, it'll now be loud. And I'll show you guys an example of that as well. Once I'm done here, hit close all the way back out. Now you're going to see that when I open this up,
Front door.
it just does a voice enunciation, but it does not do the double beeps to confirm. Again, watch.
Front door.
When I arm it, you will also see that it won't make any beeping sounds.
Doors and windows on. Motions on.
See, there's no beeping going on. So again, this could be a feature you guys may like. Every person may like different features. I'm just showing you guys different things you can do. So we're going to go ahead and cancel that arming, enter in master code.
Disarmed.
And the panic button, if you guys do want an audible panic, so if you guys have this set up in your bedroom or anywhere in the house, and you know, somewhere where you can easily get to it, and you guys set off a police panic using this, if you have it set to audible, it'll more than likely scare off a burglar. So if you're upstairs and a burglar breaks in, you can enable the panic, and then
Alarm cancelled.
any
Communication cancelled.
and then any sirens that you have wired or learned into the system, the alarm will go off, scaring possibly any intruder. What else can we do? That's pretty much it for the siren options. That's again, you can play around with different things. If you guys do have any questions or need any help, feel free to send us an email to support@alarmgrid.com. If you found the video helpful, make sure that you hit like underneath, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and enable notifications so whenever we upload new content, you guys do get notified. I'm George from Alarm Grid. I'll see you guys next time.